What is up, everybody? Welcome to week 10, coming off the week 9 craziness. This is Fantasy Fuel. I'm your host, Mr. Matt Russell, and with me got my co-host Chip. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I feel like I got a loss this week for the first time in a while, and
Poor thing. You poor
I
thing. I
know,
hope that you're doing all right. I hope
but
that
I'm
is.
doing fine. Started Tua, and he didn't play, and that at least made my Sunday like, okay, well, I'm done for the week. So wrapped it up quick,
It's kind of
versus all week long.
unstressful is a word. An unstressful
Sure.
week.
Yeah.
A stress-free
There it
week.
is.
That's English. That's the best way
We
to say
found
that.
it.
There it is.
We found it. Oh man. How are you? I mean, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about week 9? Can you believe we're already week 10?
It's flying by, that's for sure. I cannot believe we're already in week 10. I feel like last week was sort of a low-scoring week across the league. Obviously, you have some high performers, but not the guys you'd expect it from,
Yeah, it definitely was a crazy week all in all. I mean, Jacksonville beat Buffalo 9-6.
Yeah, I tell you what, as someone with Buffalo's kicker, I was feeling all right, but every other way, it's like, what's going on here? What is going on?
It was a crazy week. I was ready for like just I mean the Chiefs Packers game too. It was like what 13-7 or something. Like it was
I think it
I'm
was
trying to remember what's on my
13-7.
head.
I think it
Really
was
low
13-7.
scoring.
Yeah.
And before the season starts, flashback to week 1, you tell me Chiefs Packers or final score is 13-10.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's like a 40 points aside affair. Like they're throwing up points in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, it
didn't help that Rodgers didn't play, but of course,
yeah.
I think that would have changed it a little bit. Obviously, the Chiefs have been underperforming, but like you said, preseason, you expect that to be a big time game.
And the Rams also. The Rams didn't do like at all what we thought we'd do with Tennessee. Like Stafford, everybody like, oh my gosh, it's just weird week. Weird week 9. I don't like it. I was about to say let's move on, but I forgot we got to recap. Let's recap.
We gotta run through it.
All right, we'll blitz through it quick.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'll start us off with the quarterbacks here. Justin Herbert coming in QB1. The way we score him, we got 31.5. Lamar Jackson at 30. Both of those you'd expect. Matt Ryan 28.5. And we got Carson Wentz at 24.5.
Yeah, and I think that New York Jets backup made it in, Johnson.
Yeah, I intentionally didn't say that because I didn't know his first name, so I was just going to move by it. What is his first name?
I think Josh.
All right.
Josh Johnson, I want to say.
There you go.
Could be. One thing I want to add here, I saw this stat about Lamar. He had over 100 rushing yards last game. That was like his 10th game, which is tied with Michael Vick for the record of rushing yards by a quarterback. Like 100-yard rushing games. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took, I think, Michael 115 or 100 and plus games to do that. Lamar's done that in 45 games.
I was just going to say there's no way that's slowing down. I'd imagine he's going to set the record handily.
Easily. It's just insane what he does. I don't know how long it lasts, but he does it. All right, running backs. Go ahead.
Sorry, I got him in our dynasty league, and I could not be happier about it.
Yeah, same. My other dynasty league, obviously not the same one. My other dynasty league, I got him too, and I got that Mark Andrews stack, and it's just Mark Andrews signed that long-term deal. I just like to have that for years to come. All right, for the running backs, this might be a preview now that the backfield cleared up. James Conner finishing number 1 on the week, 37 points. I mean, he's been getting like touchdowns all year long, and then Chase Edmonds gets out of the way, and he gets the whole workload, and oh my gosh, did not disappoint. Jonathan Taylor, 33 points. Sir Nicholas Chubb with 29 points. Joe Mixon in the same matchup with 25.5. And then drops off from there, Nyheim Hines with 18.8. So pretty interesting week for the running backs. Good to see the names like Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, Joe Mixon, some of those guys you hope for up there. But no Dalvin, no CMC. This is just a random part I'm going to throw out. I know you mentioned it before, but man, start of the year and even last year, you have that tier of running back of CMC, Dalvin, Kamara, Saquon used to be up there. Where they're then the next there's a drop off. That tier is gone. There's no Yeah.
I think if there's ever a case to be made for zero RB, it's you look at the top running backs week to week. Obviously, like it's different. There's when guys get hurt, and it's hard to say what they would be,
Yeah.
what they wouldn't be. But if they get hurt, that's part of the game. And
Bef-
it's zero RB looks more and more enticing every day. It's gonna be hard not to do it next year.
yeah. Well, I mean, before like Henry fell off, like it was Henry, and then there was a drop. But it's crazy. What do we got for wide receivers?
Wide receivers, looking at Elijah Moore coming in 23.9. We got Devonta Smith coming in 20.1. Help me here. Help me pronounce this
Yeah, I don't.
name.
Zacchaeus?
Zacchaeus. That sounds like a right way to say that. You got Zacchaeus coming in at
The Falcons.
19.3.
Mhm.
Mooney with the Bears getting 19.1, and Turner coming in 17.8. Any help with a couple of these names, Matt? Who are these?
Oh my gosh, you would not have guessed any of these throughout this year. I mean, Malik Turner for the Cowboys. Like I would not have told you his name prior to this year. Where's CeeDee Lamb? Where's Amari Cooper? Like, what is happening with the Cowboys?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Michael Gallup comes back from IR, I think, this week as the third wide receiver. So here you got wide receiver 3, Malik Turner making the top 5 this week. Maybe that helps the Gallup managers that maybe have stashed him away. Like, cool, if he can do it, Gallup can do it coming back.
Yeah, it's definitely promising. But then there's also the other side of that coin. Now it's 4 receivers trying to get some.
True. I don't know what happened there. I didn't watch the Cowboys game. I know there was like Dak threw 2 touchdowns in garbage time. Like they were getting killed.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think they brought in backups maybe, and that's why this guy gets got the touchdowns at the end.
Could be.
I'm speculating there. I didn't watch it, but I just know I remember seeing that they were getting like shut out, and then it was kind of a garbage time touchdowns that Dak threw. So who knows? Anything else for wide receivers before I move to tight end?
Wide receiver, we can head on tight ends. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm excited about this tight end list here.
I know you are.
Number 1, dude. I'm loving this guy more and more every week. Pat Freiermuth, the Muth. I don't know. It sounds like I just love it. I love his name. I love how like he keeps popping up. I mean, 7 targets 3 weeks ago, 7 targets again after that, 6 targets this week. Finds the end zone twice. Like Big Ben loves him in the red zone. Awesome.
Yeah,
number 1 on the week.
Like you're saying, number 1 on the week because he finds the end zone twice. But when you're getting 6-7 targets a game at tight end,
yeah,
man, that's in the set it and forget it category of tight ends.
I think he's probably still on the waiver in our league. He probably is.
I'd say so. Yeah.
And I mean, I got Kelsey, so I'm not making a move to a rookie. But if you're somebody playing the streaming, I'm picking him up and I'm starting him. And I think until he proves otherwise. But after Freiermuth. Good to see we got the big 3 back. Kittle, Kelsey, and Waller are the next 3. 17 points, 15 points, and 12 points respectively. Good to see them back up there. Kelsey's the only one of them, I think. No, Kittle found the end zone. I was about to say Kelsey's the only one found the end zone, but Waller's points are just off yardage and reception targets.
Yeah.
So
I think that Waller's gonna just see increased production after the Henry Ruggs incident. It's just gonna give him more opportunities to get targets.
And if you were worried about Kittle at all, like because he wasn't himself prior to the injury, then was injured for a long time, I don't think you have to be worried. I think he looked great.
I'm feeling very confident if I'm owning Kittle right now.
Yeah. Number 5 is Anderson from the Los Angeles Chargers. Little side note, because we only do the top 5, but 3 Charger tight ends were in the top 10 this week. All of them found the end zone. Yeah, Jared Cook, Anderson, and who's the other one? Donald Parham Jr., I think, is the other tight end. Yeah. So all 3 Charger tight ends made the top 10 in tight ends. So if you played a Charger tight end, you were in a good spot this week.
No doubt.
All right. Bust.
Looking at some busts in the quarterback, we got some names we usually see in the boom category. We got Matt Stafford, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Danny Dimes himself, rounding out our busts. How are you feeling if you're owning these guys? How do you feel about them, Matt?
I mean, obviously Stafford, Allen, and Mahomes are in a different category as just like caliber of player, in my opinion, compared to Burrow and Jones. So I'm not worried about Stafford, Allen, or Mahomes. I heard somebody say today on a sports show just talking about how good teams always bounce back. Well, you can say the same thing for good quarterbacks. They have a game like this, they'll bounce right back next week. Yeah, that's what
I
makes them
guess
great.
that means
So.
that Mahomes is due for like an explosion, some career games after that, because he's been letting me down for a couple weeks in a row now. So
It's true.
hopefully your theory runs true and I get some big time boom out of Mahomes.
Did he have a pick this week? I don't think he did. I think he was. No, he was clean. He was good.
I was gonna say I think he just had like 200 yards and a touchdown, and that was his only stats.
This was the first week. Yeah, I'm looking at it here now. First time he didn't throw an interception since week 1. He's had an interception in every game. So
yes, he has.
So hey, he's trending up. He's on the right move. We're good.
Hey, who we got in the running back category?
2 of my players, Aaron Jones and Darrell Henderson. Here's something else. Like on ESPN where you can see your format and you can like switch between each week.
Yeah.
So I went back the past like 4 weeks. It literally Jones and Henderson are tied somehow in the way that like they both got 7 points this week or 6 points. Last week they both got 20. Week before that they both got 6. Week before that they both got 20. So they are ping-ponging together, hitting together, failing together. So hopefully
I will say it's got to be a good feeling for you knowing that the 1 week your quarterback just decides not to play, that also your running backs kind of
and my receivers.
If a perfect storm of 1 week, all the bad things happening isn't the worst thing for your team. Maybe just get it all out the way, and the future is going to be much
better. Exactly. Also, Mike Davis on that list. I know you've invested a little bit in Mike Davis. How do you feel about him going forward?
Pretty much the same that I always have. I don't know how many points he scored last week. Do you know off the top of your head? 2 points.
Like 2.9.
So we're at 9 weeks total. He has 7 weeks between 9 and 10 points, and 2 weeks at 2 points.
I'll say this. Like if you look at the past 3 weeks, he's got. I'm going backwards. He's got 2 points this week. I think like 9 points last week, like you said, and then 1 point the week before that. So 2 out of the 3 weeks, the most recent 3 weeks, it's been 1 point, 9 points, 2 points. So like,
I mean, my running back situation is absolutely in dire straits. So, I picked him up hoping that he would be, because I didn't trade for him. He was on the waiver wire.
Yeah, definitely.
After the 1 point game. So I picked him up hoping that he would be like a 9 point consistent kind of guy. If he continues that, awesome. If not, I wouldn't be super, super shocked. I've still got JD McKissick. So if that, if things continue to trend south for Antonio Gibson, I've got somewhat of an insurance play there. McKissick has put up like 3 weeks in a row of like over 10 points, I think. I'm going to double check that right now. No, he went 15, 7, 13. So, not bad by any means.
I'll throw this out there. And I'm sure you've already think about this, but I'm just throwing this out there. I jumped on the waiver right now, just looking. The top 4 running backs listed by ESPN: Devonta Freeman, Devin Singletary, Nyheim Hines, Kenyon Drake.
Yep.
I'm looking at all 4 of those, and honestly, if I had to, I would start all 4 over Davis like this week.
You would. I will say all 4 have been on my team. So
at some point,
all 4 have been on my team at some point. So I think
the way
said
it's
earlier, all roads lead to Singletary.
Especially, I think Zach Moss went down, exited the game last week.
If that is true, I will be unloading the last of my $9 in fab on Devin Singletary.
Because also they got the Jets, and like I said, good teams bounce back. Buffalo's going to try to like show how good they are, and then they're going to run out the clock. And if Singletary's the only one left, he's going to have to.
Goes. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at some wide receiver busts. You're going to see a trend here. It follows the QB bust. We got Tyreek and Jamar Chase starting us off there. Mike Williams, DJ Moore, CD Lamb, Amari Cooper, AJ Brown, Cortland Sutton. A lot of names on this list. What do you make of it, Matt?
It hurts because there's so many good ones here. And almost all these guys like put up like 5 or 6 points. So none of them goosed you. I mean, CD Lamb got close, but they all put up like 5 or 6 points. So like it's not terrible, but like not what you expect from any of these guys. Sutton, he's almost in a drop category for me. I don't know. Yeah. I think you got to hold on to him just because you're invested.
I said AJ Brown. Is it AJ or is it Antonio Brown?
Is it AJ Brown? Yeah,
it is AJ Brown.
Yeah, Bucks are on by. AJ only had I think a couple points there. Let me vet that real quick. I just want to make sure. I know Ryan's got him right. Yeah, 6.7.
Yeah.
So not terrible again. And that's where DJ Moore was. That's where Cooper was, Tyreek and Chase. Yeah, not much to say. They'll bounce back. Tight ends, to end it. These two aren't on a team anymore, but they both busted this week. Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. Just not what you expected from them. I'm actually going to drop Ertz this week. I think, I don't know.
Really?
I don't know how good he
You're
is.
going to do it right now, actually, so that I can pick him up on the waivers tomorrow?
I can't. No, I'll be dropping him with the waivers tomorrow. But if nobody else watches this, you'll have the advantage to know that he got dropped. Not everybody checks like who got dropped, when they run through. So might have that advantage.
Something to look at, something to think about.
So that's the boom and bust from week 9. We got a special little thing for you today. We're gonna try to run through every matchup this upcoming weeks. We're gonna look at all of the matchups coming up this weekend, go through each of them, talk about which ones we put in our lineup, play a this or that kind of thing, starter sit kind of talks. Let's just jump right into it. You ready?
Let's go. Yep. Thursday night, what we got coming for us?
Thursday night, we got Ravens versus Dolphins, the 6-2 Ravens versus the 2-7 Dolphins. Dolphins defense has looked pretty bad this week, this year. So looking for the Ravens to, I don't know the over under here, but looking for the Ravens to probably put up some points. Lamar, you're obviously starting. Mark Andrews, he's a lock. Hollywood has been incredible. So
I
think you got to rock with them, right?
Yeah, I was going to say on a Thursday night game against a horrible Dolphins team, I think you got to rock with Hollywood Brown. He's pretty much locked into your lineup.
Yeah, he's right now wide receiver 5 on the year. You got to have him in. That's on the Ravens side. On the Dolphins side, we'll talk about the Ravens running backs maybe in a second. But on the Dolphins side, like I saw today, Tua's not playing, so Tua's out again. He's listed as emergency backup. That's what he was last week. He's active.
Weird.
But he has a broken finger, so he's only going to play if something happens to Jacoby Brissett.
If Brissett goes down. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But the wide receiver starters, I don't know if I'm starting a Dolphins wide receiver. I'm afraid of Jalen Waddle against this Ravens defense. I'm afraid of – is Fuller even playing this week? I don't remember.
No.
I don't know if he's coming in. I think he's out.
I don't think so.
Other than that, what's his name? Devontae Parker is also out.
IR.
So the only person pass catcher I'm playing is maybe Mike Gesicki if he's my tight end option.
Yeah. I would say he's probably still better than most streaming options, so I'm still probably playing him.
Him or the Muth? The Freiermuth.
Freiermuth for sure. I think that like you gotta, one with a veteran behind the, taking snaps and the other one.
Or what was a veteran?
Was, now is just a shell of a man. A fat, slow shell of a man.
Oh, man. I would never say it to his face because he scares me, but yes, Big Ben.
Well,
yeah, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
What about Myles Gaskin? He's the other kind of fantasy option in this matchup.
I think it's an interesting thing to look at because when you have such a bad quarterback and wide receiver situation, obviously they might try to run the ball more early. Maybe he gets a touchdown or two early, but I think that they're going to be playing from behind a lot. It's tough to say. He's like a borderline flex play in my opinion.
So like looking at last week, I know they played Houston, but it was like a low scoring game, 20 rushing attempts and 6 targets on the out of the backfield. So if they are playing from behind, they're going to need to throw the ball. And we already talked about the pass catchers, not great options. So I mean, I think he's flexible. Maybe when we have some other debatable ones later on in the matchups, we'll come back and say Gaskin or him.
I like that. See. I like that.
But that's about it for this running back situation. You playing any Ravens running backs before we move on to the next matchup?
I don't think that I can bring myself to. As someone who is in, like I said earlier, dire straits for running backs, I'm staying away from the Ravens backfield. It's not to say that none of them will do well. Someone will do well. Someone will pop off in that backfield, but I don't.
Yeah, Devonta Freeman put up 15 last week and then 11 the 2 weeks prior. So I mean, like he's been the most consistent. Seems like the front guy. If you start one, that's who I'm starting.
Yeah. I mean, if you have to, if it's maybe you got someone injured, maybe you have Chase Edmonds kind of deal, need to pick someone up. Probably safer play than any other option out there, but I like what I have on my bench more than one of the Ravens running backs.
Probably. That's good. All right, moving on to the next one. 4-4 Falcons versus 6-2 Cowboys. the way both these teams are playing, I think this is a pretty good matchup. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and we always say the Falcons absolutely love to give up points. The Cowboys will shoot out with anyone. So
Yeah.
I like this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Very sad that we won't obviously get Calvin Ridley anymore in the season for the Falcons. That's tough. But I think what it does do is give a really cool opportunity for Kyle Pitts to be sort of the lead guy, the lead pass catcher in that offense. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pitts is obviously a start for fantasy purposes, but for NFL purposes, I don't know how much he's going to be. I mean, he's going to be keyed on by the defense. We talked about that, I think, in previous weeks. I don't know if any other wide receivers step up here, so I'm not starting really any Falcon wide receivers. I mean, Zacchaeus, we said earlier in the top 5 for the Booms, he made it, but I'm not relying on that. I'm not trying to chase those points down.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that.
You're starting Cordero Patterson, starting Pitts, and that's about it from the Falcons side. My opinion.
You're not starting. You start Matt Ryan. How do you feel about that?
I think there's better options on the waiver than Matt Ryan. I'm looking at our waivers right now. Maybe not, but you probably got two guys on your bench. Man,
I'll put it this way. Let's say you have Tua, right? Tua goes down, and you can either pick up Jacoby Brissett or you can pick up Matt Ryan. Who are you picking up?
Matt Ryan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan over Baker. Matt Ryan over Jimmy G. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Matt Ryan, he was in our Booms earlier today. He was number 3 on the week, so he can get it done. I'm with it. On the Cowboy side, you're starting Dak if you have him. Starting Zeke. I put in here Zeke, Pollard, both. I don't know. Where are you at with the Cowboys backfield? Can you flex Pollard?
I haven't been tracking it recently. Let me give it a look and see what how they've been doing. I know Zeke's been having a decent year, right?
Pollard has not. Pollard the past 3 weeks, 4.8, 3.2, 7.8. So I don't know. I think he's lost his flex capabilities.
I think so. I think I agree with that. I think that you're locking Zeke in, having a pretty great year against a team that loves to give up points. So if it does turn into the situation where the Cowboys are sort of running away with it, Zeke's going to get a lot of touches, I think. And even if it's a close game, he's still going to get a lot of touches because he's that bell cow running back that you drafted him to be.
Yeah. Amari Cooper, you're playing him. I'm looking now. Yeah. Amari only had 58% of snaps last week. Again, I think they put in the backups.
50%?
50% of snaps last week.
Yeah.
Let's see CD. I want to see his snap percentage. 71. Still way lower than normal. Usually in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Put them back in. Don't worry about them. They're talented, Cooper and CD. Here's one. Last thing I'll say about this matchup, in my opinion, unless you got anything, is Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz. I know a lot of people, like, he popped off. People grabbed him. I'm not. I think I'd rather have Freiermuth. Going back, he's my line right now. Am I picking up Pat Freiermuth and putting him in my tight end spot? Yeah. If I have Dalton Schultz, I'm putting him in.
You are?
I'm playing Freiermuth over Schultz. That's what I'm doing. If I'm a Schultz manager, yeah, I think so. Oh, that's tough. I would love to make a bet with somebody. The Muth versus Schultz 1v1. Pittsburgh's playing Detroit this week. You're the only person here. Can we make this bet? You got Dalton Schultz on me, or
man? I'm not looking too hot on bets that we've made on the podcast this year. We can do just a bet for pride. You can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we don't need any money or anything like that.
All right. I'll take Schultz. That's fine.
You got Schultz versus Freiermuth this week. All right, we'll see how it goes. Let's move on to the next one. We got the 2-6 Jaguars coming off the win against Buffalo versus the 4-5 Colts. Oh man, this is a division matchup. I want to say, should be, yeah. Jaguar side, you starting anyone on the Jags?
If James Robinson is healthy, I'm playing him. I know there's been some questions around it. I don't think he played last week.
No, he didn't.
So if he plays, then I'm playing him. If not, then I obviously am not going to play Carlos Hyde or anyone else in that backfield.
Yeah.
And I don't really like the prospect of playing Marvin Jones that much either.
He looked great early in the season, but he's been dropping off. And actually, Dan Arnold, the tight end they traded for, has been stealing targets away from there's a correlation. Ever since Dan Arnold showed up, Marvin Jones has been going down. I don't know. Dan Arnold's top projected tight end on our waiver wires on our main league right now.
I saw that
above
earlier.
Freiermuth. I'm still taking the Muth, but
There you go.
I don't know. I'm reading this real quick. Urban Meyer said Robinson is expected to play. So
okay, awesome. That's good. So I'm starting him then.
Yeah,
for sure.
On the other side of the ball, I think there's two must starts, as in Johnny Taylor, Mr. Jonathan Taylor, and Michael Pittman Jr. You got to put him in, especially against a team like the Jaguars. Flexible, maybe Nyheim Hines if you have your backfield's beat up. They're playing against the Jags. Yeah. I think the Colts get a lead here. Backups come in and Nyheim gets. And
you saw what happened last time. Nyheim just kind of stumbled into the end zone, got the he kind of got the looks there. So it's not the worst play in the world. If you're throwing him in the flex, if deeper league, or maybe you got some guys that are hurt, it's something to look at.
Carson Wentz or Matt Ryan? they always feel the same in my head.
So Carson Wentz versus the Jags, I feel better about that than Matt Ryan versus the
Cowboys. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think I'd go. Yeah, I think I'd go Wentz over that.
Yep.
Anything else about this matchup?
Nope. We got Browns versus Pats, both 5-4. But the big thing in this game is there is no Chubb, still no Kareem Hunt, and Demetric Felton also out. Chubb and Felton tested positive for COVID, so they're going to need two negative tests before they can play, 2 consecutive negative tests before they can play. So as of right now, we're looking at no Chubb. The only back in this Browns offense is going to be Dearness Johnson.
And you started him without full confidence?
I think so. I think you are. Look at what he did last time.
I don't know how you don't. Yeah, I don't know how you don't. Interesting thing about the Browns without Odell, somebody stepping up. I think I still don't love Jarvis. I think defenses are keying on him. They know he's the number one option. We saw last week against the Bengals, Donovan Peoples-Jones catch that bomb. So Jones is a dart throw. He is a you're hoping that he's going to catch on one of those. But without Odell, I mean, he is the I don't know, if you're an organization and you're going to release an Odell Beckham Jr., no matter what is happening, he's a talent. You're not trading him. You're going to release him. You have to have confidence in who you have. So they must be confident in Peoples-Jones. He's the next one up.
I guess so. Yeah. And one thing I want to say on the Odell situation, I think it's he did go undrafted or unclaimed off of the waivers.
Yeah.
So he is a free agent. He'll be signed by Sunday. I don't know if he'll play on Sunday, but he'll be signed by Sunday, I think. I think so. Personally, I think so.
Now, he's rostered in our league, but if he's on the waivers, maybe somebody saw he got released and just dropped him. Are you stashing him no matter what?
Yeah, for sure. He's a great talent. He's a drama queen. He gets in fights with nets. He yells at his quarterback when he doesn't get enough targets. The team that picks him up will know that and be going into it knowing this, hopefully at least, and be in a position where he's going to get a lot of the targets. So I think that it's something worth picking up because if you got a spot on your bench, definitely throw him on there. What are you really losing out on? It's no risk. You're just picking him up. You can drop him right back.
He has a higher ceiling than anybody else who can off the waiver. Is he somebody you trade for though, or you just solely picking up?
Definitely not trade. At least not until you know the situation where he's going to play, the quarterback situation, the other wide receivers on that team. It's way too risky to do that.
I feel the same way. That's how I feel about the situation. Not trading for him. If he's out there, take a peek. Somebody might have been rage dropped him after he got released. On the Patriots side of the ball, trying to pull up Damian Harris's status. I want to see because I know he's questionable. Kind of left the game. I think what I saw is he left the game, and so did Ramondre Stevenson, both with a head injury during the game. So they're both questionable to return. They both might return. One might, the other might. I don't know. Yeah. I'm staying away from the backfield. If Harris is healthy, I play Harris. If he's not, I'm not playing anybody else.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's the right call. I think that you don't try to make the stretch and play Stevenson, like you said, if he's back.
I think last time, when Harris was out, everybody put Stevenson in. Then Brandon Bolden had a game. Then the next
I
game,
remember that.
Stevenson had it. I'm not trying to guess the right one.
It's sort
Jacoby
of like
Myers. Go
Sorry,
ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say it's sort of like the situation in Baltimore with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Like you just one of them will go off. It's just too risky to see which one. But as far as Jacoby Myers, I am convinced that he has been. I actually heard on the news he is officially diagnosed. Have you heard this, Matt?
No,
he got
no.
diagnosed. He's officially allergic to the end zone. He is not allowed within 5 yards of it under any circumstances.
Unless it's a 2-point conversion, right? He's allowed.
Unless it's a 2-point conversion, in which case he's granted a special sort of immunity from the horrors that lie in the end zone.
Oh my God. You started. I should have started that. I thought you were serious. Then I could tell the joke was coming. That was wonderful. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, let me throw this at you then. Myers, Jones, Marvin Jones. Let's start there. Jacoby Myers or Marvin Jones?
Jacoby Myers is. I know that Mac Jones took a hit. Is he all right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, I think he's good to go. I think he's good to go.
Yeah.
I like Myers more than I do.
Okay.
More than I do. Yeah.
I'll throw some more at you later when we get into these. I want to get a heat check on Myers. I want to see where he's at.
All right.
Hunter Henry, tight end.
He's kind of dropped off. He was looking really good like 3-4 weeks ago. Kind of fell off a little bit, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm still starting to Muth over him. I'm starting Schultz over him. I'm starting Jasicki over him. Yeah, I don't know. He's in that tier. I'm just obsessed with the Muth right now. So
yeah, I know you are. That's your guy right now.
I'll try to calm it down, I guess. He's only projected 5.9 this week by ESPN. If you believe them, all those guys I just named are definitely a better start than Hunter Henry. So
yeah.
Okay, who you got winning this matchup? I want to know who wins this
matchup.
Browns or Patriots?
Give me the Browns, please. I would like the Browns.
In Foxborough, by the way.
In Foxborough. I like the Browns. Yeah.
All right. That's tough.
It takes a lot to beat a formidable team like Cincinnati, So
yeah. All right.
That's something that not only the Browns but the Jets have in them. Versus the Bills is our next game up. Jets 2-6 versus the 5-3 Bills. How you feeling about this game?
Bounce back game for the Bills. Whatever the spread is, give me the Bills.
I think the Bills might slaughter the Jets, like eviscerate them on the football field.
Yeah, we don't know the thing that the Jets got going for them. We don't know which quarterback's playing for them. They got 3 options now because Josh Johnson even blew it up. So Josh Johnson, Mike White, and I hope it's Zach Wilson. If I'm the Bills, I'm hoping for Zach Wilson. Honestly,
I'm hoping for Mike White. I am as a neutral spectator and lover of the sport. I hope that it's Mike White. That man was absolutely balling.
Yeah, okay, as a fan, but I'm saying if you're the opposing team, I want Zach Wilson. Yeah, if I'm the Bills, I want Zach Wilson.
You know what? Let me rephrase my stance. Actually, as an owner of the Buffalo Bills defense, I hope that Zach Wilson plays the entire game because he does not know what color jersey to throw the ball to. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I think as we keep saying, the Bills are just gonna have their way with them. So Josh Allen's in. Diggs is in. I think Sanders is flexible.
Sanders, yeah, I have. So this is a good little would you? My 3 wide receivers that I run through in my flex between Emmanuel Sanders and Jacoby Myers and Julio Jones.
Give me Sanders. I'll go.
I'm putting Sanders in too.
I'll go. Who does Tennessee play? Saints.
Let's take a look. Yep.
You got Marshall Lattimore. He's going to be on A.J. Brown. I go Sanders for sure, Julio, then Myers. That's my quick.
Yep. I think I agree with you.
So the RB situation in Buffalo, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Zach Moss might be out. If he is, I think Singletary's a go-to.
Yeah. You starting Singletary confidently?
If Moss is out. If they're both playing, I'm probably not playing either of them. I agree with you. It is.
Yep.
Yeah, either one, right? Either one's it.
Yeah, either one of them.
You can say it either way.
You can either say either or either.
I think we just lost half our fan base with that.
That's all right.
It's like 2 people. So on the Jets side, of the ball, Michael Carter going up against this Buffalo defense. How do you feel?
I don't want to start anyone on the Jets offense. I know that was it 2 weeks ago versus the Bengals that he absolutely had an insane game. So a little bit of hope there, knowing he's a rookie running back, like kind of on the trend up, but not against this defense. Not against this defense. You know,
what other options?
There are trends, and there are, this is going to stop a trend.
Michael Carter or Singletary with Zach Moss.
Wow, that is probably Michael Carter. But I will say Ty Johnson. I'm in a 16-man league, and I have Ty Johnson in that league because I had 2 guys get hurt. So I've been starting him. Ty Johnson's been getting me like 10 points a game, like upwards of 17. So he's taken some points away from Michael Carter. Probably still a better option than Singletary. That being said, if the Bills are up big, they're just going to be running the ball. And if Zach Moss is sort of banged up, they're probably going to be getting it to Singletary. So I don't know. I'm kind of talking myself into Singletary over Michael Carter.
Here's the thing: if you're playing a Jets running back, the quarterback really affects which running back you play. Mike White was just dumping it down to Michael Carter like crazy. Mike White's in there, you might be confident in a lot of targets for Michael Carter. Josh Johnson in there, he did not pass it as much. Ty Johnson got a little bit of the work, so I don't know. Zach Wilson's in there. I'm just trying to stay away. So on the wide receivers for the Jets, we said earlier Elijah Moore had a big game. I'm not sticking to that.
No, I'm leaving. Like I said, I don't want to touch anyone in the Jets.
Okay. All right, let's move on then. 8-0. Nope.
8-0.
0-8.
Wow.
Thank goodness
like
for that 8-0. 0-8 Lions versus the 5-3 Steelers. Is this the week the Steelers finally crumble and the Lions finally win? Or do we still got the Steelers winning this one?
I don't know. The Steelers have kind of turned around. They started off like 1-4, and they've been kind of doing well ever since, haven't they?
Yeah, but I feel like it's a car running with a lot of like loose bolts. It's just gonna fall apart soon. Yeah, I don't know. It's like moving fast, but so they're winning, but it's gonna crumble.
I mean, they have good. I think the only thing they have is a bit like an old quarterback. They have a rookie running back who's clearly the best rookie running back. He's one of the top 5 fantasy running backs. You have Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, so they're not without weapons. If Ben can figure out a way to get the ball to him, which he's kind of been doing, like they'll be all right, especially against an 0-8 Jets team.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying the Lions winning this week. I'm just saying the Steelers are gonna eventually not look as good as they have looked. Yes. No, against the 0-8 Lions team. Yeah, I'm starting a lot of the Steelers players. Najee and Deontay Johnson are locked in. Deontay's one of the most consistent.
Even talk about him. Yeah.
Who's the 4th person on that dock there?
Who's the 4th person? Let me count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that Freiermuth? Is that your guy?
Yeah, I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Yeah. He's again. I've said enough about him. Claypool. Okay, real quick. Back and forth. On the Lions side, I'll just say this: DeAndre Swift locked in. TJ Hawkinson locked in. Are you starting any other Lion player?
Nobody else.
No. Okay. So the only question in this matchup is Claypool. Let's throw back Claypool or Jacoby Myers.
Claypool.
Really?
Yeah. I think that there's a better chance for Claypool to do well.
Claypool or Sanders then? Emmanuel Sanders or Claypool?
Emmanuel Sanders. I like
agreed.
The prospect for Emmanuel Sanders more.
Agreed. Okay. So that's kind of where he's at there. Claypool's in between Sanders and Myers. All right. Next one, what we got?
Next one, we got Saints looking at 5-3 versus the 7-2 Titans. For the Saints, we're looking at Kamara and Taysom Hill. Kamara, I think, is pretty locked in, obviously. First round pick, healthy. You're not going to ever not start him. Taysom Hill, what do you think about Taysom Hill, Matt?
I don't know if he gets the start. I wanted to look because I know he was coming off a concussion, but he didn't. He did actually get in on Sunday against Atlanta, so he did play last week. I didn't think he did, but he did. He played 22% of the snaps. He had 2 pass attempts and completed both of them.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought he didn't play last week, and I thought this was the week he was going to come in. If he was the starter, then I think he should be a starter in fantasy because his rushing base is just insane. Last year, when he started 4 times, all 4 times was at QB1 because he just runs the ball.
So you're starting him over Matt Ryan for sure.
If it's crystal clear that Taysom Hill is the starter for the Saints, which looking now back at like what happened last week, I don't think he will be then. I think that guy Simeon or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian.
Yeah.
Nope,
I think he's
baseball.
starting.
That's baseball. Sorry.
Oh. No, Trevor Siemian is quarterback. Yeah. Yeah, Trevor Siemian logged 96% of the offensive snaps.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
But
what a day,
I think he's starting. So I put Taysom Hill in the show doc prior to that. No, so unless we know for sure. Unless we know for sure Taysom is the starting for the all game long, then I'll start Taysom. But if not, then I'm not playing him. Kamara is the only Saint I am playing.
No doubt. All right. What do you got?
Titan side. AJ Brown, he's in, even though he's going up against Marshall Lattimore. You got to do it. You don't think you have the options. Tannehill, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan. Which one? What order?
Tannehill, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan in this order.
Ooh, it's a tough
Man,
one.
this is tough. You're really putting me on the spot. Saints defense has been pretty good. They're a top 5 defense in fantasy right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Carson. Who's Carson Wentz playing? Who are the
Jacksonville?
So Carson Wentz, then Matt Ryan, then Tannehill.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with you there. I agree with that completely. Yeah, the Saints defense is too good.
They are very good.
So we already talked about Julio and Sanders. I think I said Sanders, then Julio. Let me just throw Julio and Claypool at you because Claypool was below Sanders.
I want to say Julio over Claypool, but I think that might be my own personal bias of having him on my team. What do you think?
I would say Julio over Claypool. Yeah, I would. And Julio over Claypool. That's where he fits in. Next one.
I want to ask you. I know you have someone.
Go ahead.
Are you starting any Titans running back? Do we?
Shoot, that is huge. We definitely need to cover that because people are wondering that one.
I know you got on your team, right?
Here's the thing. Yeah, I got McNichols, and it looked like the wrong choice between McNichols and Peterson last week. Yep. Now, here's the thing. Looking into the stats, so the eye test said Peterson was the guy. He got all the goal line carries. They even ran a wildcat with him.
I remember that.
Yeah, so it looked like he was the guy. Now, he played only 33% of snaps. And McNichols played, let me make sure I got this here, 45%. So McNichols was on the field more. McNichols had only 2 less carries and had 2 more targets. So looking at the stats-wise, 3 less carries. So 10 carries for Peterson, 7 carries for McNichols. 1 target for Peterson, 3 targets for McNichols. McNichols was on the field more, but Peterson got the goal line work. So I want to say
sounds like another Ravens situation. You just got to stay away from it, I think.
Yes, but I'm not dropping either of them either. I think you're still holding and seeing if it clears up. Yeah. Another week of practice. I don't know.
One of them should emerge as the clear-cut guy, but I don't think it'll be known until at least after this week. Who's the guy to go to.
And I think I said this in our chat once. I think it gives us an Edmonds and Connor situation where I think McNichols is going to get the passing work, hence the more targets between the 20s, and Peterson will just be the goal line guy. So like James Conner. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. But
no doubt.
We'll see.
So next up, we got the 6-2 Bucks versus the 2-6 Washington football team. Bucks, obviously, you're locking in Tom Brady. He's been quarterback 1. Godwin and Evans locked. Possibly AB. Lenny is locked as well. AB he was hurt for some time. Is he back now?
Well, that's why I put the possibly. I think he's questionable. He has a projection on most platforms. But it's not for sure. He's still.
To be fair, Michael Thomas had a projection for 3 weeks, so can't be too confident about ESPN projections.
He's like, I don't know if he practiced today, but it's Tuesday when we're
Yeah,
recording this.
I
So
think too, with a guy like AB, he doesn't necessarily have to practice to be in this
true.
week. He could be taking it all off and still play on Sunday. But I think that if he does play, I think you start him. I don't think you really question it either.
Oh, here we go. He was in a walking boot yesterday, as in on
Tough,
Monday.
tough. Well,
So that's not looking good.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that situation. On the football team side, obviously you've got Terry McLaurin locked in. We put a question here: which running back, Matt? How are you feeling about football team's running back situation?
I wanted Antonio Gibson to have a year this year. I just liked him last year, and I was looking for him to do well, and he hasn't done it. I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's our job here to know. But I just tell you, I don't know. I think I would feel good about McKissick. I just don't feel good about Gibson.
Yeah, no doubt. I have in my running back situation, this is a great example of like, who would you put? JD McKissick or Mike Davis? And I'm throwing in.
Yeah.
I think Davis has like 3 points higher in projection. McKissick is only like 7, but he's been projected 7 every single week since the beginning of the year. I think that he has a great game.
Yeah.
Because he gets a lot of the passing work, he gets a lot of the goal line looks, and it's going to work out for him.
In this game, I would rather have McKissick because also
they're going to be down.
They're down, and just even scheme wise, you can't run on the Bucs. The Bucs front line is so good, you have to throw the ball. It's the only way you can get yards on them. And even though Antonio Gibson played wide receiver in in college. They don't like throwing the ball to Antonio Gibson. They like to throw to McKissick. And so it's going to happen.
Just the way it goes. We got here written tight end situation is iffy. I know I was looking at it. Logan Thomas has a projection this week. Again, I don't know if he's going to be coming back. Do you know anything more than that?
I think he is going to be back. That's if I had to make a guess, he's going to be back. The iffy part of it is Ricky Seals-Jones has looked so good in his absence. Yep. Is this you thank the Ricky Seals-Jones for his service and goodbye, and I think you
run into a situation like Philly was in before the trade, where the team is going to love the fact that they have two tight ends that are usable and pretty good, and take advantage of that, and they're not going to care about the fantasy implications. Obviously, they're looking to win games, so I think that it's going to be tough for fantasy owners, but good for the Washington football team, because I think that Scary Terry's been getting locked up by defenses. So if you can come in and put 2 pretty good tight ends in there that are going to get a lot of the check down looks, some of the shorter kind of dump off passes, like that's going to alleviate a lot and make Scary Terry a lot better. So it'll be something to look at as we go forward. I'm not sure if I start either of them this week just to see how it looks, because like I said, it could go either way, but it could very well be where Logan Thomas comes back and is just the guy there again.
And you got to hope that if you're the Logan Thomas manager, you had him on IR for weeks now. You had to find a replacement. Hopefully you did. And if you did, wait one more. Get a clear view.
Yeah, no doubt.
Pick up Freiermuth.
There you go. One more plug. Can never stop plugging it. One more time. Who should you pick up, Matt? Tell me one more time.
Well, Freiermuth. I don't stop because he doesn't stop. That's the tagline.
Right. Who we got next? Let's move on. Come on.
Panthers 4-5 against the 8-1 Cardinals. Man, the Panthers started off good this year, and they have been in shambles ever since. Cardinals are going to have their way with this, I think.
CMC locked in for sure.
Locked in.
I think some people might have been skeptical last week because ESPN was a little skeptical about his share. I think that you start him and don't really think about it. I don't think there's too much to say here. DJ Moore, was he hurt? Was DJ Moore hurt? No. Okay.
No, I'm gonna vet this real quick. I think he just had weeks now. He's had an insane amount of targets, and it just doesn't connect. Yeah, 3 receptions on 7 targets. 7 targets. 4 receptions for 8 targets last week. 2 weeks ago. So he's Sam Darnett, man. Sam Darnett. He just doesn't.
Sam Darnett. I like it. I like that nickname a lot. I like it a lot. I think that's really all there is to talk about on the Panthers side. What about the Cardinals? How do you feel about the Cardinals with what's his name?
Kyler?
No. The running back.
Chase Edmonds?
Chase Edmonds, thank you. He goes down. So it looks like it's going to be James Conner's backfield, right? Feeling pretty good about starting him?
Oh yeah, big time. And depending on how long Edmonds is out, you got to look for. I think Ito Benjamin is the backup. Also, he might be getting some work. So you watch that, and maybe he's a stash in case they split the role. But no, feel confident in James Conner. Throw him in there. Definitely play him.
Speaking of definitely playing guys, Kyler and D-Hop. Let's say both are healthy. Are you definitely starting them and not thinking about it? Both of them.
Yeah. They're elite. They bounce back, like we've talked about. If they're healthy, they're locked in.
What if it's another situation where D-Hop, I know before the game 2 weeks ago, he says he's healthy. He says he's good to go 100%. I think he had 2 targets. Do you think that we run into another situation like that? I'm asking personally as a friend, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not for the podcast. This is just for me.
He is you have to play him. You have to play him even if he says it. Here's the thing. You're in an 8-team league, which I know you're not, but if you're in an 8-team league and you have 3 top wide receivers, no, don't play him. Put somebody else in. But any league you're in, if you have most leagues 10 and up, if you have DeAndre Hopkins, you probably don't have somebody you can plug in replacement of him. He's in your
I
line.
agree with you. I agree. I just wanted to hear you say it. Now I feel a little bit better. A little bit better.
Yeah, good. He's still elite. He'll bounce back. I said earlier how I'm going to drop Zach Ertz, probably. But that's also because I have Travis Kelce, and they have the same bye week, I found out. So I've been holding him for nothing because I wanted to plug him in for the bye weeks. So unless Kelce gets injured. If he does, you know who I'm picking up. I've already said it. So I don't know. I'm playing Schultz over Ertz. I'm playing not Hunter Henry over Ertz. I'm playing Ertz over Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I like that. I like
I'm just scrolling through. Gesicki, yes. So I don't know. I don't love Ertz unless you have to.
All right. Next one, we got Vikings 3-5 versus the 5-3 Chargers. For the Vikings, you have Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson locked in, of course. Adam Thielen, is he locked into your lineup, Matt?
You know how I feel about Thielen. He just disappoints me too much. He's not a lock for me, but in most leagues, he probably is a lock.
I think if he is your flex, he's an absolute lock. If he's your wide receiver 2, maybe you're looking at other options, seeing what you got. But I think as a flex, you start him and don't really think too much about it, personally.
What about Thielen and Julio?
Thielen and Julio. Thielen.
Yeah, I think so. Thielen, last one, Thielen or Sanders, because that's kind of the bar we were at before.
They are sort of in the same. I think that they are in very comparable tiers as far as wide receivers go. I think this week I am going to go Thielen because I think it's a closer game. I think they're going to be passing more.
Yeah, I think that's a good way. I think there's the chance that Sanders catches a bomb against Jacksonville or the Jets, whoever the Jets are playing against, but they're going to be up. They're going to run out the clock. He's got to be the ones to score.
The thing is, if you're playing Sanders, he has to score the first 2 touchdowns. If you're playing Thielen, you're banking on the fact that it's an entire game where he can score touchdowns. So I agree.
I think that's a good play. I think this is a competitive game, Vikings and Chargers, as you're talking about it.
I think that's what I'm saying.
This would be a fun one to watch. On the Chargers side, Eckler, Keenan, Herbert. I have those 3 for sure locked in. Some would say Mike Williams is for sure locked in. Where are you at with Mike Williams?
I know the person, the owner in our league of Mike Williams is not going to be starting him because he has an incredible wide receiver core. But I think that in the majority of teams, the majority of leagues, I think that Mike Williams is a start.
Well, I'll say this for him. He's not somebody that was drafted in most leagues. He was picked up. No, he was drafted, but late.
Well, like last round. You're like, I guess I'll play this.
So if you have him, you probably have other options too. Like he's not a Thielen or a Julio where you took him high up and now you feel like you got to play him. So I don't know. Looking at his fantasy production the past 3 weeks, 7.8, 3.9, 4.7. And that might be PPR too. That's not even half PPR. But either way, none of those he hasn't broke double digits in 4 weeks. So he's got the ice symbol next to his name, I don't know. I was an advocate for selling high early on.
No, definitely. I'm just looking at right now. Looking at his games right now, for example, every game that he has scored more than 7 points, he's had a touchdown. So he's very touchdown dependent. That being said, in this game, I could see it being a lot of touchdowns. I don't know. I don't know if he's a must start. He's a good flex play if you got him, but if you got someone that would be better.
Let's throw somebody out. Let's do a heat check real quick. Williams obviously Williams or Thielen in the
Williams,
same matchup.
Thielen.
Williams or Jacoby Myers.
Wow, you are.
That's got to be Williams, I think.
I think you're right because Williams has found the end zone a ton, and Myers is struggling with his diagnosis right now.
Last one. Williams or Claypool.
Williams.
Yeah, it's got to be. Okay.
All right. Next one.
Eagles 3-6. Look at us both jumping in. I love it. Eagles 3-6. We love the Eagles. That's what's happening here.
That's what it is. I just love the Eagles. I love the Broncos. Especially the Eagles running backs. The Eagles running backs just make me so happy. I've never been let down by a single one of them. Never.
Eagles 3-6 versus the 5-4 Broncos. This is gonna be a matchup. Eagles were competitive last week, I think, against the Chargers. Broncos blew out the Cowboys. Like, if they both play like they played last week, this is a high-scoring event.
Yeah,
we'll see.
No doubt.
On the Eagles side, where are you at with everybody?
Eagles side, Jalen Hurts, I think, is locked in. He's the best fantasy quarterback out there, but I think he's still locked in. Running backs, I'm staying away. Honest to God, I could not put myself through it. I want to.
Jordan Howard last week is who scored the touchdowns.
Man. I know. It's just what's happening. What's happening, Matt? Explain it to me.
I'm not playing any of them.
Explain it to me.
What's his name was supposed to be Boston Scott was supposed to be the guy. Jordan Howard somehow still in the league.
You know what's going to happen?
What?
So first week that Miles Sanders is out, Kenny Gainwell is supposed to be the guy. Boston Scott, Jordan Howard come in there. Then Boston Scott's supposed to be the guy, and Jordan Howard comes in there. Now it's Jordan Howard. You know what's going to happen?
You're going to start Kenny Gainwell.
I'm going to have a Kenny Gainwell 30 bomb sitting on my bench. It's going to be awesome.
I don't know why he's still on your bench, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Maybe you look tomorrow and he's not.
You like pain. Yeah, there you go. So you like to see that pain on the bench.
Maybe I just want to torture myself. The same reason I'm not going to eat a single pancake when I'm at IHOP.
Anyway. All right, here's the thing I was going to say about Jordan Howard. 40% of snaps last week, but yet he gets the goal line touchdown. I don't know. It's just it's a dart throw. Devonta Smith, though, he's the one people want us to talk about. He put up 20 points last week after putting up like a bad week prior. I mean, I'm going to read it back to you. This is from most recent back. 22 points last week. 2 points against the Lions, and then 11 points, and then 5 points. He's really going back and forth. Against Denver secondary. How do you feel about Devonta Smith?
I don't necessarily hate it. I think he's in the same realm as all the guys we've been talking about as like wide receiver flex options. Could do very well, could do very bad. I lean towards staying away. Personally, I think that he's had enough down weeks where it seems like that is the norm and the booms are booms. That's not the normal where he's dipping down from that. I think he reaches up to that. So I tend to stay away from him. What do you think?
I would rather I was going to throw out this one to you, but I was going to try to answer it at the same time. Devonta Smith or Mike Williams. I think I'd rather have Devonta Smith over Mike Williams.
I think I'd rather have Devonta Smith over Mike Williams. I think so.
That's a very possible
combination
of on your team.
Yep.
All right. On the Broncos side, Melvin Gordon with 20 carries last week, or 21 carries, and then Javonte Williams with 17 carries, but a little bit more in the passing work. Both put up double-digit points. Eagles are a team you can run all over. We've seen that every single week. So I like running backs against the Eagles. I think you play both these guys. Odds are you don't have both on your team. So
no, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. The wide receivers, we had a question come in to our mailbag about the wide receiver set here. With Jerry Jeudy coming back. Jerry Jeudy last week had 8 targets, while let me pull this up. Courtland Sutton, I think, put up a pretty bad week with only 2 targets. So Sutton's targets are being taken away by Jerry Jeudy. If you had to start one of them, which one are you starting?
I like Jerry Jeudy more than I do Courtland Sutton. Like you said, Sutton is almost in the realm of being droppable. and Jerry Judy's coming off IR. So I do like Jerry Judy more than I do Sutton.
On top of that, like I know Sutton didn't have many targets last week, but I mean Tim Patrick was actually the highest scorer of the receiver core last week with 5 targets, but he had that bomb touchdown. So I mean that's he's always the threat there. Like if you had to rank them, I'm guessing you're ranking them. I'm gonna guess you're ranking. That's what I'm gonna do here. Judy, Sutton, then Patrick.
Yeah, I think so. I kind of almost want to say Patrick over Sutton, but
yeah,
I think they're like neck and neck.
It's tough. I mean, the question that actually came into our mailbag was who has a better week, Gordon or Judy. So maybe if you have both of them somehow on your team, you're flexing Gordon over Jerry Judy.
Yes.
That's a clear flex in my opinion. Because I mean, it's the only way you'd be able to pick one or the other, of course, is in the flex option. So I think a better question maybe is like, Judy or Sutton in the wide receiver spot, and we said Judy. So okay. Is Fant back this week? That's my last question about this matchup.
Great question. Let me check with my trusty friend Cody Allyear.
I'm looking here. I think I'm seeing that he's optimistic that Fant will rejoin the Broncos on Tuesday's practice.
Yep.
He only he wasn't injured. I'm sorry. He was only it was a COVID thing last week. Yeah. So he should be back by game time.
Should be good to go.
And I think he's probably put right into your start. I know the person in our league that has Fant also has Schultz, and I was already talking about how I don't want to play Schultz this week. So if Fant is back,
definitely Fant over Schultz. Definitely.
Yeah, throwing Fant in. Okay. All right, let's move on. What do we got? We only got 3 more left. Let's just run through these.
All right. This is yours, Matt. This is yours. This is your team.
Oh, yes. Let's go. Seattle Seahawks 3-5 versus 7-2 Packers. Both quarterbacks are questionable here. Here's the Rodgers is allowed to make his comeback the day of this game, which means he doesn't practice all week long, which I conceded to say he's fine.
It does not matter. It does not matter.
He knows his wide receivers. He knows his playbook. He's good. Russ practiced today, throwing the ball around. I think head coach said that he looked amazing of throwing the ball as much as he did with the limited throws that he had. But so Russ is back. I think you can throw him in. DK is locked in. Devontae Adams locked in. Although Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon's been getting in the way of Aaron Jones, dude. AJ Dillon looks so good.
I know. As a Packers fan personally, what are you looking at here? Would you rather have it just be AJ Dillon, or do you like having both of them there?
Okay, for fantasy purposes, I want one running back. But fan purposes, NFL purposes, I love the 1-2 punch. Because we're obviously as a fan, you're just looking for wins. I love the 1-2 punch. I love it. I'm sad long term that we signed Jones for a 4-year deal because you could have signed him for a small deal and draft another guy because Dillon obviously can take over the backfield whenever he's done. So I hate that we got Jones for 4 years, as though I love Aaron Jones as a person. No, but I mean, I think Jones is locked in. Do you think you can flex AJ Dillon in a deep league?
Ooh,
he's been putting up points.
In a deep league, yes, in a deep league. I know I traded him to you in that trade that we had. Let me look at what he's been doing recently because I have not been tracking what he has been putting up. So we are looking at, in reverse order, 11 points last week, 7.8 the week before that, negative points the week before that.
Yeah.
So he's still somewhat iffy, but if it's a flex play, I don't necessarily hate it.
Yeah, I don't either. I think there's better options out there, so you probably don't have to start him. On the other side, we got I put Hot Lockett in there, Tyler Lockett. I
think
he's scary.
This is actually the team name of the owner of Lockett is like Pop It, Lockett, Drop It. I'm not starting him. I'm dropping it. I'm not dropping him, but I'm
You're not locking him in?
I'm not locking him in. He is not locking it in to my.
Okay. Yeah. With Russ, though, Russ and him have a connection.
They do.
And
there's no doubt.
If Russ is back, you might feel good about flexing Lockett. If he's a wide receiver too, I try to find another option.
What could happen here is you have a situation where Tyler Lockett, because he didn't play with Russ for so long, thinks that it is actually the beginning of the season again. And then does what he does in the beginning of the season where he puts up crazy points. Maybe it's like it's a psychology thing where he's just going to put up a crazy amount of points because he thinks it's the beginning of the season again.
Well, if you're a Lockett manager, then I hope you find that piece right there with what you just said and have that in your head. That works great. Chris Carson, if he's back, are you putting him right in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, for
I
sure.
think it's easy. If he's healthy,
sure.
he's in. That's it.
All right. 2 more to go. We got
Sunday night football. Waiting all day for Sunday night.
I love it.
Because we got Chiefs 5-4, Raiders 5-3. We said it before we went live. Everybody in the AFC West has 5 wins. Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos, all with 5 wins. So Chiefs and Raiders, one of them's got to give unless they tie, I guess. But Chiefs, Raiders should be a good matchup just based on how the teams have played.
I was going to say, I think that like beginning of the season, you can't wait for this matchup on a Sunday night. Now it's a little more like which team is going to hit their stride. I think one of them will play better than the other this game, obviously. But I think it'll be like significantly. So I think that one of the 2 teams does show out here. What are you thinking, Matt?
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember last year, the Chiefs were like obviously dominant and killing it. The Raiders were the one team that beat them last year. Like the Raiders kept them from going undefeated last year. They broke their streak for a long time. So this is always a competitive matchup, no matter how the teams are doing prior to the matchup. The Chiefs haven't been playing well, so it bodes that it's even going to be even closer than normal. I still think the Chiefs win. Obviously, I'm taking them on a money bet, but Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek, you got him in. CEH, I don't know if Clyde's coming back this week or not. If he is, you got to start him.
I don't think you think too much about it.
You drafted him to start him. You probably don't have – you didn't get somebody unless you picked up Cordero off the waivers. You don't have somebody.
That's how I feel about every person that has been drafted on the Chiefs. Mahomes, Tyreek, Kelsey, CEH, all of them. You got them. You're going to start them. It's going to click at some point. Exactly. On the Raiders side, of course, you have Waller locked. He has been fantastic. Like he was on our boom list this week with no touchdowns, and he's going to be just fine. Josh Jacobs. What do you think about Josh Jacobs, Matt?
Yeah, you're starting him. He's fine. I think he's been so consistent. He has not boomed at all. I think he's got like 11, like 14. Like he's just had like teens amount of points every week. Even though he's like left the game early 3 weeks in a row, or 2 weeks in a row, he's left the game early. As long as he's healthy, he's fine, and you can't bank on an injury. So,
what do you think about Kenyon Drake? The last 3 weeks has gone 13 points, a bye, 15 points, and 20 points. Are you starting Kenyon Drake against Kansas City?
I'm not going to start him. He should be rostered. If he's not, you need to pick him up. Spoiler alert. I'm trying to pick him up tomorrow. I don't know if you are, but we'll find out.
He was on my. I don't remember who I dropped him for someone. I think I dropped him. Oh, I dropped him. I know what I dropped him for. And I wish I wouldn't have, but it's
I'm stashing him tomorrow. I'm bidding low, but more than you got. Sorry, buddy. Not more than you have. You have $9, right?
I have $9. Yeah.
I'll say I'm not bidding 9. So
okay,
I'm bidding less, but. I'm not breaking the bank by any means, but I'm trying to get I'm going to put him in there. I'm not playing any Raider receivers.
Nope. Here. I think you're foolish to start a Raiders receiver. I think you just let it go. Let Waller be your Raiders receiver and move on.
What if Odell signs this week? You pick it.
Not the first week. I'm not starting him. I'm picking him up, or I'm keeping him on the team.
Wait, didn't Deshaun Jackson sign this week with the Raiders?
Yes. Deshaun Jackson will be playing.
Is he flexible? Because he's a speedster outside.
On the first week, I'm not going to. I want to see how it looks the first week, personally.
Yeah, I agreed. If you have that if you have the flexibility, obviously, I agree with that. All right, final one.
Last one.
Big one. I like this. I hope it's a good matchup. Monday Night Football. Rams 7-2 versus the 3-5 49ers. So NFC West matchup here. Division rivals. 49ers have not looked great, but they're still always competitive. They got the weapons to be competitive. No. Rams did not look great last week at all. I think this is a bounce-back week for the Rams.
Oh, yeah. I think Cooper Kupp has 50 points this week. I think that they go off.
I think Rams beat them by more than 10 points. Yeah.
Yep.
I would take Rams plus 10 easy.
By that same idea, of course, you're going to have Stafford, Kupp, and Henderson locked in. Not even thinking about it. Woods, probably.
I think so
locked
too.
In. If he's your wide receiver too, probably. If he's your flex, absolutely. He's locked in my opinion.
Yeah, he is. He's been balling. I think there's a lot better choices. I do.
I think so too.
I say that, but like, then he catches the touchdown, and like
Yeah.
he always has that. The thing with tight end, you want somebody that can catch a touchdown. You want high touchdown probability because that's usually the line. Did they get the touchdown? Cool, they were worth it. Did they not? They're not worth it. And with the Rams in a high-powered offense, he always has an option, always. So if you got him, you're probably sticking with him. But
Yep.
I don't know. Kittle locked in, Debo
Definitely.
locked in, Ayuk stepping it up. How you feel about Ayuk? You got him.
I
right?
love it. I picked him up. He got dropped by the person who drafted him, and I picked him up feeling awesome. I actually picked him up in that 16-man league that I was talking about and started him. So I got 15 points out of a guy I picked up, feeling great about that.
So you mentioned to me earlier you had me pick between your receivers, Julio, Sanders, or Myers, but you didn't throw Ayuk in that combo.
I did not. I think that it's sort of like we were talking about someone earlier. I think Devonta Smith, who's had a very low ceiling, or not low ceiling, very low average, and had a couple games where he's kind of stepped up, had a little bit better. I want to see more games from Ayuk where he does well before I feel comfortable saying you can start him over Emmanuel Sanders or anyone in that category.
Definitely. And also, I forgot for a moment they're playing the Rams, and the Rams defense is great. Jalen Ramsey, and Von Miller and Aaron Donald. We'll see Von Miller play this week, I think, for the first time. I know he had an ankle thing going on last week, so I think he's back, and we get to see the full
defense is going to be scary. Defense.
I have like their defense, and part of me thought about starting them, but I also have the Colts, and the Colts are playing Jacksonville, I think. So
yeah,
I'm like,
no, I'm with it. Elijah Mitchell, is he locked into your lineup if you got him?
If you got him, I think you're playing him this week. I know I've been stashing Jeff Wilson, looking to see. He was a healthy scratch last week, coming off the PUP list for the first time. I don't know if that's just like they're confident in Mitchell and they're confident with JaMychal Hasty. I at least thought Mitchell would be the guy between the 20s and Wilson would get a couple snaps, but he didn't even play one snap next week. So I'm not dropping Wilson. I want to see one more week. He doesn't record a snap this week. I'm dropping Wilson. But
no doubt.
He was a great contributor last year, but I think for the time being, Mitchell is his backfield. So I think you can play him.
I love it. Great week of football ahead of us, huh?
Wow, we just that was a lot of football we just talked about. Hopefully that helps some people out. We had a great week. I'm excited to watch all these games. Real quick before we leave, I just want to say I want to throw a plug in for this. We want to, we try to give you as much advice as we can as we go through these matchups, as we give the flex options. But there's nothing like if you ask a question that we can straight answer it for you. I'm talking to the listeners here. So if you're listening to this and you have a question, a start-sit question, trade question, anything fantasy related, format question about your league, I don't care, anything that you got, please leave it in the comments on the video if you'd like to. If you know us personally, reach out to our emails or phone numbers and let us know what you got. We record on Tuesday nights, so get your questions in before Tuesday. I would say around 7 o'clock, and 7 o'clock Eastern time. And we'll try to answer them on the show. So answer your questions and give us something to debate about. Fantastic. What do you think, Chip?
I love it. I want to hear from some people. I want to see some comments down there. I want to see questions. I want to help people out. That's what this is all about. Make it a community of people who listen to us, want to hear our opinion, and I want to give you my opinion. If you know anything about me, I love arguing my opinion. So give me an opportunity to do that, please.
There you go. Good. I love it. Well, that's going to do it for week 10. This is Fantasy Fuel. I'm Matt Russell with my co-host Chip Sparks, and I guess we'll fuel you up next week with some fantasy knowledge.
There you go. We'll leave it on that note. Thank you, Matt.
All right.